Let's move on and speak with the management of NIIT to talk a little bit about the growth outlook. What are the prospects for the company? We have Rahul Patwardhan, who is the CEO of NIIT, with us on the show. Thanks for joining in. Now, to start off with, after a strong first quarter, we're seeing a continuation of similar momentum. Do you think that's likely to continue into the next quarter as well?
Yes, certainly. I see continued acceleration of NIIT's businesses, not just over the next couple of quarters, but over the next few years. I think we have turned the corner and completed the turnaround of the company in our skills and career business, which was the part of the business that was holding us down in the 4 years before I joined. Through restructuring, through re-energization, and through renewal, we brought the turnaround into a single-digit growth rate, and as we indicated for this year, the skills and career business will deliver high single-digit growth rate and a mid-single-digit EBITDA, while the CLG business will continue on its 15%, 12% EBITDA, 15% revenue growth as before. So overall, that should guarantee that we will deliver a continuously improving top line as well as EBITDA over the next few years. In addition, the renewal program, where we are launching online initiatives, platforms in our CLG business, these will all add to the trajectory on the growth rate and also an improvement of the EBITDA. So I can only see positive things ahead for NIIT over the next 2-3 years.
Okay, now Corporate Learning Group is your mainstay growth pillar, where you have about 31 global MTS clients with revenue visibility of $208 million. How much of this will be executed over the year?
As I mentioned in our investor call, as well as in a few recent public messages, we actually had a slightly weaker intake of contracts in the last couple of quarters in the CLG business. That didn't have any impact on our revenue because we also had existing customers who continue to deliver more requirements. But this quarter, actually, our pipeline is very strong, as it was last quarter, and many of the deals are near closure. We are expecting to see some deal closures in this quarter. I'm not announcing anything that may have happened or is going to happen, but this quarter is going to be a better quarter than the last quarter in terms of new customer wins. And that trajectory will improve as we keep going forward. So very bullish and positive about the corporate business at this point of time.
And finally, if we look at the big picture, on a consolidated basis, are you firmly poised for a mid-teen revenue growth?
Well, as I have stated in the past, my charter is really to take this business over the 5 years from the time I joined from about $140 million to a $500 million size, and to take the EBITDA from what it was when I joined to roughly around 20% EBITDA at the end of 5 years. So that's kind of the big picture aspiration, if I can call it. I don't want to treat that as a guidance. That's what I am trying to work towards based on my discussions with the board. Having said that, if you look at the trajectory that we are on, we've already hit 12% YOY growth for Q1 for the company overall. And clearly, while there may be seasonality shifts because quarters are a bit different in our industry because of the education and academic season, but I can clearly see that getting a double-digit growth rate, which can gradually keep increasing, is very feasible. If we play our cards right and we continue on the way we've delivered on our plans, we can keep increasing the growth rate from the current level upwards. And our EBITDA margins also, as the 12% on the CLG, we're trying to work towards raising that to 15% over the next 2-3 years. The SNC business right now, it's at only about 5 or 6% EBITDA. That's far from what it can be once the operating leverage starts kicking in. So I think EBITDA also, clearly we see double digit as possible over the next couple of years.
Okay, Mr. Patwardhan, thank you very much for taking the time out and sharing your perspective with us on Market Sense. Well done then to get you pick of the week, and we're now joined by Deepak Jasani, Head of Retail Research, HDFC Securities. Good afternoon.